we were in awe, and it's weird because I don't remember anything after that. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am joined here today with Casper. Normally he's sleeping on the corner of my bed, but came to make an appearance today. Before we get started today, I just wanted to give a shout out to the artist who illustrated the image that's in my intro and my outro. His Instagram is axiom_design_. It'll also be in the description of every one of my videos going forward, and this one. I actually went and changed it in all my other videos. He is really cool. He has some really amazing artwork, and he was kind enough to let me use his image for my intro and outro for my videos. So please go show him some love. Go check out his page. And I think he also has a DeviantArt account. If you have one of those accounts, you can go check him out there as well. This would be more of a story time video if I could actually remember the day this happened or what happened afterwards. It's very, very strange. I don't remember anything that happened before this on that day, and I don't remember anything that happened afterwards. I remember the moments leading up to seeing it. I remember talking about it, but I don't remember, like, stopping looking at it. I don't remember what we were doing that day before that. Casper, what did you do? Sorry, Casper just decided to, like, completely take off the mattress cover of my bed. It's being very bad Casper. So before we get any further into this, you guys know what I'm talking about. I saw a UFO. Now, this was years ago, and I'll tell you guys what happened first, and then I'll get into all the details about how there's like memory missing, there's like time missing from that night for me and for my family members. So we were coming home from somewhere. I was driving in the car with my family, and we stopped at the gas station in the next town over from where we lived, and my dad either went in the store or was pumping gas, or both, I'm not sure. And me and my mom had got out of the car to look at the sky because it was a really clear summer night. You could see all the stars. It was just very beautiful, and me and my mom are both like suckers for that. We always are like looking at the sunset, looking at the full moon, looking at the stars. We're just like, her and I are like two birds of a feather when it comes to that kind of thing. So we were just like, oh my god, it's so beautiful looking at the sky. And the area where this was, we were on Main Street in Beacon, New York, and there's like mountains around the river, and it's very beautiful. Metro North Railroad actually goes through there as well. So if anyone's from this area, the Hudson Valley, New York area, even New Jersey, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. And the Metro North is basically the train that people take to go into Manhattan. So the river is at the end of Main Street, and we were more towards the top of Main Street, and like basically the opposite end. So where we were looking was the area of the sky that was over the river. We just started to notice something was off. There was something a little bit odd and something not right about the sky. And as we continued to stare at it, we started to notice the outline of an object. And I would describe this as being a rhombus-shaped object, like a slanted rectangle. Now I'm starting to think, in years after this happened, I'm like, maybe it was a diamond shape, because that's a common UFO shape, but in my memory and from what I always would think about it, I would think of it as a rhombus shape. And this rhombus-shaped object, or diamond-shaped object, whichever you want to call it, was pitch black, and it had little white dots of light in it. So it pretty much blended in with the night sky, and you wouldn't have noticed it if you weren't staring right at that spot, because it was, first of all, it was enormous. It had to be much bigger than a plane, like it had to be, because I would estimate at least 2 football fields in length, maybe even 3, and it was moving extremely slowly. Like, I mean, barely noticing it moving. It was going so slow. So that's why I feel like you wouldn't have noticed it otherwise. It was also very late at night. I want to say it was probably close to midnight or maybe even after midnight, so there weren't that many people out and about.
So I'm at the gas station where I saw the UFO that night with my mom and my dad. We pulled in here. It was late at night, so it wasn't as busy and it was dark out, but this is where it was. And it looks like now there's some trees over the area where we were looking at, but I'm gonna walk and show you where there's a little bit more of a clearing so we can see the spot that I actually saw the UFO. So I'll come show you guys that. So like we actually got out here, and if you look, like there's trees there now. I'm not sure if these were there before. It was a few years ago, but I feel like the trees were like not as full. Maybe it was a drought that summer and they just didn't get as full. I don't really know. We're gonna cross the street because, as you can see, the trees are blocking, so I'm gonna just cross the street and show you guys because I think it's more of a clear shot on that side. Even here, okay, I thought we would have a better shot here, but even here it's still kind of blocked. The trees, me and my mom got out of the car, we looked at the sky. It was perfectly clear. It was also nighttime, so we were looking at the night sky, and you could see like the mountains. At the end of the street, there's like the river and there's mountains, and you could see that. This was years ago, so maybe, like I said, it was clearer then. Now the trees are blocking a lot of that, but I did want to just show you guys, this is the area where I saw it. It was pretty much in the sky right there. I was moving very slowly going towards that direction.
And it was just, we were in awe, and it's weird because I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember anything beyond the moment of looking at it. Like, I don't remember us stopping and like getting back in the car. I don't remember if it disappeared. I don't know if we watched it till it left out of sight. I don't remember driving home. All I remember after that is, and I think this was like a memory that is like placed in my head almost afterwards, if that makes sense. Like, when I talked about this to my mom later on, like in the years after this happened, she was like, oh yeah, like it was on the news that night that people in New Jersey saw the same thing that we saw. So I have this memory of us coming home and watching the news about it, but I don't think that actually happened. I think that's like because I can't, like, I don't remember seeing it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have that, like, I don't remember seeing the news. Like, I don't have a vivid memory of anything else happening beyond that moment. And I honestly didn't even realize this until I thought about making a video for it, because every time I've told people the story, I'm just telling them the part of what I saw. Like, I don't come up with like a beginning, middle, and end. Like, you know, with a YouTube video, you want to tell the whole story, you want to make it entertaining, you want to give everybody the details from beginning to end, so it's like a full length video. But I don't have any other details to share with you guys. I have been, since then, trying to find images of what I saw. I've tried to find video of what I saw. I found one illustration that somebody did that looks exactly like what I saw, and there was one photograph that is in some kind of UFO museum, considered by UFOologists and like people in the UFO community to be like a well-respected archive of UFO photos and things from UFO sightings and events. Those are like the only two that I could find that really closely resemble what I saw. I've tried to find over the years the news clip from the night that we saw it, but We can't even remember what year this happened. It's really, really weird. I thought that my brother was with us that night in the car, and I always wondered, like, I wonder why Michael didn't get out and look at this thing. I wonder why, was he sleeping in the car? Like, what was going on? So I actually asked him about it for the first time. I don't know why, I've never really talked about it to him. I asked him about it like yesterday or the day before, and I was like, Michael, did you see the UFO? Like, why didn't you get out of the car that night? And he said that he wasn't with us. He said that we came home and were talking to him about it. And I have no memory of this. I was very confused. I literally didn't know that he wasn't with us that night until a couple days ago, which also threw off my whole idea of when this happened. I always assumed for some reason over the years that it happened when we were coming back from a vacation, and that me and my mom got out of the car because we had been driving for so long and we wanted to stretch our legs. And I remember it was the day that Amy Winehouse died, so I thought that that was when this happened. But my brother would have been with us if it were that day, and it kind of just threw a wrench and everything. I'm like, oh, I was trying to find, looking at the news from that day to see if I could find that news clip that my mom was talking about, but I don't think it was that day. If my brother wasn't with us, it couldn't have been. Also, my mom thought that this happened like a year or two ago. I was like, Mom, this happened a long time ago. This was years ago. This was before I had like my tattoos. I remember telling certain people about this that I haven't seen since years ago. So, and I remember like talking to them in person. So there's no way that this happened like a year or two ago. It's so weird. Like there's definitely like all this disorientation around us seeing this, and like time missing and memory missing. You would think that seeing something like that, you would remember everything. Like you would remember everything that happened that day. When I hear people describe like events, like, and not to compare this to 9/11, but like people that were, well, actually, I remember everything from 9/11. I went to school in the city. My parents worked in Manhattan, and I remember a lot of details about that day, like from the morning of until that night. I remember like pretty much the whole day. And that was a very traumatic event, obviously. But you would think that seeing a UFO, like, and this was no doubt in my mind, a UFO. There was no way it was a helicopter, no way it was an airplane, there's no way it was a drone. Especially then, like, we didn't have drones like we do now. It definitely was at least, I would say the latest possible year that this happened was 2013. And that's being very, lenient. That's being very generous with the date. I feel like it happened way before that. I feel like this was like between 2009 and 2011. Could have even been earlier than that. It's really weird. Like now I'm like kind of second guessing everything because I can't remember when this was. Now, I have told many people about this since it happened. I've told friends, I've told acquaintances, when it comes up in conversation, family members, and almost everybody just has the same reaction of being like, they barely acknowledge what I say. It's not like they look at me like, oh, you're weird or anything like that, and it's not like I'm expecting people to be like, oh my god, but literally like people have just not even said anything. They don't even react to me telling them the story. It's like, oh, okay, which I feel like means they don't believe me, and that's fine. Like nobody has to believe me. Another reason I know that this had to have happened a long time ago is because if it was closer to today, I would have been taking pictures and trying to get it on video, but I didn't even have like a good quality phone back then. By the way, I'm sorry if you can hear people like yelling in the background. I don't know what's going on in my house. People are just talking really loud. I don't know why. Sorry. And yeah, like I said, I haven't been able to find anything in the news. I got really excited because I was like, let me just try one more time and see if I can find any news from the past few years around Beacon when this happened. And I found there's like a website where you can enter UFO sightings. Like if you see a UFO, you can enter it with like the location, the time, and everything, and see if other people saw it. I found one and I started reading it, and I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I saw. This is where I was. And then I realized that I was the one that posted it like 3 years ago. So, and I'll put like a screenshot and I'll like link the website or whatever in the description. But I don't know. It's like I know what I saw. I know it happened, but I can't remember anything leading up to it or afterwards. And I know I've heard that a lot of times from like people that were abducted, or even just people that saw UFOs, like they have like these losses of time. I don't know if I was abducted. I never really thought that, but I mean, who the hell knows? Me and my mom both have like completely different ideas of when this happened. The only thing that is consistent is where we were and what we saw. And this can also give you a little bit of insight as to why I'm so passionate about this content. I feel like I would have always liked this kind of stuff anyway. I mean, I've liked it my whole life, to be honest with you. But seeing it and actually knowing for yourself that it's real does something to you. And I'm not saying that it was aliens, but I'm not saying it's not aliens. Could have been like a government military project, you know, experimenting with different technology. As we know, and I think anybody, whether you're a believer of these things or not, I think we can all agree that the government works on things that they don't tell us about. So definitely could have been some kind of like secret technology that they haven't let us in on yet. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please go check out Axiom Design. I'm super appreciative of him for letting me use his artwork for my channel, and I think it's so dope. And like literally, I couldn't imagine my channel without that intro and outro, so I'm so grateful to him. Let me know in the comments if you have ever seen a UFO or anything strange out of the ordinary. Have you ever had the struggle of people not believing you? Have you ever seen or heard of anything that looks like what I saw? Because I would love to know, truthfully. Another YouTube video maybe, like anything, because I've been trying to find this thing for years and it's like very rare that people saw this kind of UFO. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.